Listen, it's time for the interview of a lifetime. My friends, welcome to another Soldy live interview straight from the underground. What can I say, bro? Suit and time, keeping it flying. I'm here with the one and only. Guys, listen. This person right here has worked with some big time people who you've dreamed of, people you go to sleep about and you wake up and you're like, oh my God, was that real? Listen, he's just on that level. He's on that level. Listen, my friend, introduce yourself.
Yo, this is Zane, or yourself Zane, or Hi Zane, whatever you want to call me. So.
Awesome. So my first question for you is, how did you get into the underground space? How did you get here? What's your origin story?
Shit, alright, so I'd say about like a year and a half ago, maybe two, I started listening to like underground shit, like just like this kind of sound. And then I was like, fuck, I bet I could do that. And then I just hopped on FL one day, fucked around, and like I kind of like fell in love with it and just took off with it. So
For sure. What were you listening to before you started like being in the underground world?
I mean, I guess they were technically considered underground at one point, but like Cardi and like Uzi, all of them. Trying to think, just a bunch of that type of stuff. So.
For sure. And what about the underground like made you stay? You know, a lot of people come and go through things like TikTok, but you decided to become an integral part of the community. You know, what made you like really like stay down?
Bro, it's really just the interactions and people I've met. Like we created like hella close bonds, just me and the homies. Like I think that's like a major like key role to me staying, because I've built up these relationships over time, and it's just like it'd be fucked up if I left. Like I can't do that to them.
Real shit. Now, seeing as you've built these relationships and things like that, where do you see the underground going in about a year from now? Because there's been a lot of growth.
Oh man, it's like it's constantly like evolving. Like there's just new sounds that come and go, and with TikTok I feel like there's so much potential for like all the underground artists that like I know personally. Like we're all like just it's like a boiling pot. Like we're just ready to fucking blow up. Like so I feel like there's a lot of potential, and there's, from like my experience, there's a bunch of labels that are hip to it as well, so I feel like it can make a mainstream appearance as well. So
Real shit. Yeah, you know, I have a friend, Astro. Me and him, we have this conspiracy theory that like labels, they almost want to invade the underground because they see the profitability in it. Like music and social media are super generational things. So when they see this new wave of music coming, they obviously want to like be a part of that. So I think like the way labels are moving now are completely different. And I think they're going to try and be like Opium, where like it's an independent label that follows a theme of a certain artist that they're able to inject people into the underground, like Destroy Lonely and them like that. I'm not calling them plants or anything, but
yeah,
you know, if you can put somebody together like that if they just fit the certain things. Do you have any thoughts on that or what?
nah, hella like I feel like that, like with like the industry plant thing, I feel like some people could be viewed as that, because like it takes literally like a day and you blow the fuck up if you're on TikTok. It's crazy. Like the movement on TikTok is like immeasurable, and like I can see why some people might think it's an industry plant, because like I feel like overnight, like I feel like I've gotten like hella views. Like my top song on Spotify, like that shit just blew up within like 3 to 4 months, and I didn't even have to like promote it or anything. It was all just organic, which is crazy. So
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, next question, a little bit more personal. If you could have 3 superpowers, what would they be and why?
Oh shit. I gotta think. Alright, so first got super speed, like on some flash type of timing. Because like I don't know, that'd just be cool. Like everything's just moving and you're just going like that. My second one, probably like I don't know if this would count, but like immortality, like I don't die or anything. And then the third one, I would say like the super high jump, bro. I've always wanted that. Like I used to do that shit in like GTA. Like I put in
Yeah.
a cheat code and I jump up really high. I always thought that was cool. So
I used to play Super Mario 64, right?
oh yeah.
And they had this one thing like it was like a cheat deck and you could plug it into your DS and you'd put whatever game cartridge you wanted to play into the thing. I'll throw it up on
Oh,
screen.
that's tough.
And they had this thing called the moon jump where you just jump and you would just keep jumping over and over and over. You could like get out the map. But that's kind of what that reminds me of. That's super cool.
Tough. Yeah.
Okay. What I found interesting was your immortality. A lot of people like, they're afraid to like live long and like, I've met some people, they say they want to die at 50. They say, fuck it. I know that's
I
crazy.
feel that. I feel that. I mean, I'm like that sometimes too, but like, I feel like I could get so much shit done, like just like a measurable amount of stuff done within that time. So, that's probably why.
But if you're immortal, you have all the time in the world. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's like I'd probably, if I was immortal, bro, I'd probably like, I can rap later. Let me go kill somebody. Like I'm gonna go do some crazy ass shit or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
For sure. If you were immortal, would you take over the world?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And I think something that gravitates people to the underground is like the underground is its own world. It's
yeah.
it satisfies this itch that the mainstream just doesn't provide. And I think the reason why it's so popular with the youth is that it's like new, in a world where everything seems to be already done. Do you actively try to convey a message through your music or through your beats and stuff like that, or is it just something that just
yeah.
happens?
So I just like I'm able to like invoke whatever emotion I have and just use it through music and convey it and try to like paint a picture through like music. So with my beats, like just whatever I'm feeling, that's what I'll get. Like I can't just like pre-plan it. It's just like it's whatever happens. So
For sure. Yeah. I think music is something that's very in the moment. And that's that's something that's like it's good to live that way, like presently,
yeah.
A lot of people try to escape like through music or with drugs and shit like that. Is that something you can testify to?
Definitely music. Like I feel like just that like I've always been like really close to music. Like if I haven't like had anything, like music has always been there. So it's like just like at first I've always wanted to make music, and so it's been like super personal to me to like even be doing this right now. And so I use that as like a gateway to escape from reality in a sense. So
For sure. Yeah. For a lot of people, it's like you build your own reality through music. Like you're able to romanticize whatever you're doing. It could be as simple as just walking, but you put the music behind yourself walking. It's like, dang, this that's that nigga right there. He's walking.
changes everything.
Yeah. For sure. Hold on, gotta come up with the next question. Um, so you work with a lot of artists actually. Like, what is that like? Because something I experience is like sometimes I have a conflict of vision. Like I want this and I can't convey it properly with like my words, my idea. And that's something that like gets in the way of me working with other artists. What is that like for you?
Like working with other artists, like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like we're all kind of on the same frequency. Like, like I can tell what they want, especially if they find me first. I can get a vibe of like what type of like beats they like, or like even if I like just listen to them, I'm able to base like something I make off of like previous work, but also add like a little flair and whatever. It's like some own sauce on it. So yeah.
For sure. Where do you think like your ideas come from? What are you influenced by mostly?
My brain, my it's just like I'm able to, it's just, it's a lot of things actually, but definitely my brain. Like I use that as like a tool, and like I feel like a lot of people don't use it like correctly. I mean, like they might use it for like everyday purposes, but there's so much more that could be explored just learning different stuff, and you're able to take that and implement it into music or whatever you want. So
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of distractions. Like,
and
there's more and more ability. Like, people are more capable of becoming an artist, becoming a creator, doing whatever they're able to do. But there's like 10 times as many distractions as well.
yeah, yeah, distractions are, that's one of the things that I dislike the most about making music, because I get distracted with just everyday shit like school and like whatever, and then that takes away from my creative abilities, and it's like, damn, I could have used what, like that 7 to 8 hours in school to make something crazy. But that's why I try to take advantage of like any time I'm able to make music, like just go with it. So,
For sure. Yeah, man. One thing I notice is like the more I try to be active on social media as a content creator, trying to like just have a dialogue with my fans and like that interaction that makes the community a community. I find myself getting more addicted to my phone and like feeling the need to check notifications and shit like that, because it's like I always want to be like ahead of the curve. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, I definitely understand that. Like that shit, like it has a chokehold on people, and then people create a crazy ego off of it, just off of bullshit, off of numbers and whatever. And it's like sometimes they're not even making shit at that point, and they're just doing it to do it, and they get a boost, a fucking uh, what do you call it? They just get like a rush off of it, essentially, and it's addicting. It's damn near a drug, but just in media form. So
Real shit. My next question for you is a big one. Do you feel like we live in a matrix or a simulation?
uh, yes and no. Um, so I feel like so much shit has happened within the past like 50 years with technology, and shit has just evolved hella. It's insane how much growth there has been, and especially like within the past like 10 years as well. Like um so I believe that there is some fucking, we're like trapped within a reality, and we could possibly be like studied by other fucking entities or whatever. But I don't feel that right now, although there's a lot of matrices that are plausible for this shit. So um I definitely see it in the future though. So
For sure. Yeah. I don't really think that I'm in a simulation, but I observe a lot of game-like qualities to life. Like I think life is very much like a game, maybe of like poker or like chess. Everybody says life is like a game of chess, but I think it's more like poker because some people just spawn or whatever, get born in a place and their cards aren't good. Like,
Yeah.
and so you just have to be able to play your cards right in order to get what you like, get the most. And you may not be able to go all in and like get the whole house or whatever. Like, you just have to do what you get. Chess is a lot more strategic, and I don't. Some people don't even have a chessboard. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like chess is like you both start out equal. Like you both have the chance to fucking do whatever. It's just dependent on your first moves and whatever. So
For sure. Yep. Okay. Now, as a producer, one of the things I think about is like my artistic direction. Like, my favorite artists grow. Like, that grow and evolve, and they like change sounds subtly. You can hear it from like they'll drop an album, then they'll have features, and you can see, oh dang, they're kind of rapping a little different. Oh, their beats are a little different. And then they drop another album and it's completely different. How do you go about building your soundscape and just evolving as an artist?
just a lot of inspiration pulled from artists, basically. Like a bunch of them, mainly like my friends, like that I've made through producing, like they'll inspire me, or it'll be like artists that I want to work with in the like near future. And apart from music wise, like all that, I would say just like fucking just experiences through like growing up, and like inspiration from like my childhood, basically. Like through old, it could be old TV shows, it could be fucking old video games or whatever. Like I just feel like you're able to use that sort of nostalgia for creative purposes. And it's like it's sprawling too, because I've seen so many inspirations with like things from the 2000s, like all that Y2K stuff, like clothing brands, music, whatever. Like it has a big role in, and especially underground music. So yeah.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's something I wanted to touch on. Like, it seems like everybody's trying to, in some way, try to capture that magic, like whatever was there in the early 2000s. And I feel like, I don't know, I think like technologically, we were limited in a way. Like, we had a lot of stuff we could do, but
Yeah.
like, I like to use the analogy for video games. Like, the video games that came out back then, people still play to this day.
Yeah.
But it's like a hell of video games come out now, but don't nobody play them. And I think it's because those limitations that were placed because of the technology capabilities or whatever allowed people to be like, we can use this limitation to our benefit and end up creating an art style or a certain mechanic in the game that
Yeah.
relies on that. Like, do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. And also like so like in the 2000s, like video games were so fucking like fresh. Like it was brand new to people. And it's like they're like they have to learn all these controls and all these controllers and all that stuff. And it's like they've been doing that essentially the same thing for like damn near 20 years, and they're obviously gonna get burnt out on it. And also with like game development and all those, like I feel like they just pump shit out now. Just and like back then, I feel like it was much more like it was just way fucking fresh because there weren't any sequels. It was just all original. And now you get hella clones and all that shit. And that goes for anything, to be honest. So
Exactly. Yeah. And like, that's what I hope, the underground learns to maintain, is that spirit. Because I feel like right now we're going through a kind of neo underground renaissance, kind of like 2016, but on a whole nother level, because people are able to put music together like at an insane rate. It's just kind of crazy.
I feel you. Like, yeah, I see it. There's so many artists right now that have a lot of potential. And it's like, I feel like people are kind of straying away from SoundCloud now. Like, a lot of people that I know, they've been uploading on like Spotify and Apple Music. Like, I genuinely think that's the way to go. So, also YouTube, that's a good one. So,
Yeah, I've been noticing like a lot of people have been relying on YouTube because like YouTube, there's hella long like you can do the TikTok shit on YouTube with the shorts and you can do the music and video stuff on YouTube. So it's super adaptable.
That's perfect for a content creator. You have all those tools at your disposal. It's just,
Absolutely. Well, listen, now's the part of the interview where if you want to give any special shout outs, any disses, or just talk about whatever you want to talk about, now's the time to do so.
I okay. I have a whole thing. So me start. So shout out like everyone that I'm like in collectives with. Shout out Sewer Surfers. Shout out AV. Shout out GG. Shout out well, I was gonna say Fallen Angels, but I don't even think it's a thing right now. Trying to see if I'm missing anything. Shout out all of those people in those groups. Shout out Jugnino. Shout out Baklio. Shout out Axe. Shout out Demo, Zodiacs, Skrilla, all of them, all of 1006. They hella inspired me to do this shit. So yeah.
Real shit. Wow.
Yeah, I have a lot of like gratitude towards all of them. I appreciate all of them for like doing all that, just making music, because they're like, I wouldn't even be making music like this if it wasn't for them. So
Real shit.
I
Me
appreciate
neither.
all y'all.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel like people don't pay homage anymore, and like I would gladly pay homage. Like I don't see the fucking reason why not to, because like there's just no reason. It would just start other bullshit. So
Real shit. I think that a lot of the reason what motivates people to like get into the underground is to like they'll bring the high school shit into the underground and they want to think like they're their own person, like they're not inspired by anything, that they're just some like divine prodigy, but like it's really not like that.
it's also just because we're young as fuck. We're literally kids. Like we're not fucking. Our brains are fucking developed. So there's room for fucking for error, all that stuff. I just feel like some people it might take a little longer. Some people just clicks like that, like instant. So just give it some time.
Real shit. Listen, it's been Saintly Silas, the Salty Man, here with another Fresh Press interview. What can I say? Listen, links to his socials will be down below. Do not sleep on my guy. It's kind of hard, like, how are you sleeping on him? Like, how do you miss this? Like, he's literally popping right now. So listen, it's been a tremendous honor. It's been Saintly Silas, the Salty Man, and I'm out.